Welcome to KMET 1490 AM ABC News Radio and the Southern California Business Report with Yvette Walker, a show dedicated to highlighting successful Southern California businesses and the people behind them.
Welcome and thank you for joining the Southern California Business Report on ABC News and Talks, KMET 1490 AM, 98.1 FM, and KMET TV. I'm Yvette Walker, live blasting our signal from the center of Southern California, serving a population of over 25 million. Get us crystal clear and on demand by downloading the free live streaming app on Google Play or the Apple App Store. A shout out to the team as always. Bill, Mitch, and Sean, I love you and thank you. And to our special advisory committee, Bill Morris, UCI School of Business, Jose and Camila Rubio, thank you so much. And for everyone listening, don't forget to check out the Jay Kaplan Show, also on KMET on Fridays at 3, as well as the Aaron Michael Sanchez Morning Show every morning at 8. Today, I have the distinct privilege and honor to introduce Dr. Devorah Lieberman. She is the 18th president of the University of La Verne, a nationally ranked and Carnegie-designated private institution for community engagement. The University of La Verne is located in Southern California, founded in 1891, and serves 8,000 students. As president, Dr. Lieberman demonstrates unwavering commitment to the mission and vision of the University of La Verne. A constant dedication to the remarkable students the university serves, Dr. Lieberman has broadly published books and articles in higher education literature on the topics of intercultural communication, faculty development, diversity, and institutional transformation. And her presidential vision is supporting the university's values, as well as delivering quality academic programs at the undergraduate, masterate, and doctoral levels. President Lieberman currently serves as president of the Coalition of Urban and Metropolitan Universities, is chair-elect of the New American Colleges and Universities, serves on the executive committee for the Association of Independent California Colleges and Universities Executive Committee, is a member of the National Campus Compact Board of Directors, a member of the American Council on Education Commission on Inclusion, a member of the Board of Directors for Casa Colina Centers for Rehabilitation, a board member of La Plaza de Cultura y Artes, and a member of the LA County Fair Association Board. She graduated with her Ph.D. from the University of Florida, with her MA from San Diego State, and her BA from Humboldt State. Wow. Thank you so much for being with us, Dr. Lieberman.
Thank you. And that was quite an introduction, Yvette. Thank you so much. And
Absolutely.
Adding one tiny little additional detail, I'm very proud that I also graduated from Mount Sac Community College, decades and decades ago. But community colleges are very important to the state of California.
Absolutely. And, you are just the epitome. You embody not only what your bio says you do, but so much more. And, we just talked about this. And I have to say, when I first met you almost 10 years ago, I will never forget it because you immediately stand out as a woman of you are a force, okay? You have vision, you are focused, and you are on the move constantly. In fact, I'm just very happy to have you here today because I know you were very busy today as well.
Thank you. Well, I have to tell you that knowing you these past years and watching you flourish yourself, we're all in this together. So anything we can do to share and converge missions, it works for me. So thank you, Yvette, for honoring me by inviting me to be on your show. I'm honored to be interviewed by you.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And, I look forward to updates because there's always something changing at the university. But before we go into that, can you just, walk us through a brief journey, a brief history and time with Dr. Lieberman and what prompted you to pursue, serving today as the president of the University of La Verne?
Well, that's a simple question and a very complicated answer. And I don't want to really make this about me, so I'll try to be brief so that we can learn more about the university and the vision and the programs, etc. I think the bottom line, serving the University of La Verne as its president, I grew up in Southern California. I went to Mount SAC, and a private institution was never on my radar. My parents encouraged me to go to Mount SAC, Humboldt State, San Diego State, University of Florida. My parents encouraged me to go to public institutions. So it's interesting because I became a professor decades ago with a Ph.D. in intercultural communication because I felt that through education, my mission in life would be to bring people together of different cultures and different views and perspectives and philosophies to be able to learn to listen, empathize, and respect the other so that they could move forward together in healthy, productive ways. So that was, I did my undergraduate, my graduate, and my PhD in intercultural communication because I wanted to be able to share skills on how people could get along and move forward. When I was a professor, and then, I don't know if this is a female thing, that I didn't necessarily see the rungs on the ladder, but people saw the rungs on my ladder for me and encouraged me. Rather than me thinking I can do this, others saw things in me I think I didn't see in myself. And at one point, when I was a professor at Portland State University, the president at a university in New York City tapped me on the shoulder, figuratively, and he said, Devorah, I'd like you to apply to be my provost, which is the chief academic officer. And I was like, really? Could I do that? And I looked at the school, and I applied, and I was hired, moved my family. I became the provost at Wagner College in New York City. I'm telling you that because 8 years after I was the provost at Wagner, I got a call from a search firm, and the firm said, we've been watching you, and we are representing the University of Laverne in Southern California, and we would like you to apply to be the president. And I didn't know the University of Laverne, even though I grew up in Covina. And I looked at the mission of the university, and this is the answer to your question. I looked at the mission. It said founded in 1891 with 4 values that every student would graduate committed to lifelong learning, diversity and inclusion, community and civic engagement, and ethical decision making. And I said to my husband, that's how we wanted to raise our children. Then I looked at the diversity of this institution. Over 50% Hispanic, first generation, 70% of the students totally being students of color, and most students from this region and middle and low income who were looking for a career or a university to lift themselves and lift their whole neighborhood. I applied for the University of Laverne only because of its mission, the students it serves, and the community it serves. So the end of the story is when I interviewed here and I met the students and the faculty, and I really learned more about the mission, I said to my husband, if they offer me this position, the salary is not important to me. It's the opportunity to serve a university that I've never, ever seen before. And I was fortunate. I was honored. They offered me the position. That was 13 years ago. And that's what brought me to the University of Laverne. So if there was a lesson there, my lesson would be follow your passion and make sure that you feel like the choices you make are making the world a little bit better.
Well, you are the absolute perfect fit in every way. And I also don't want to, forget the fact that you are the first woman president of the university in over how many years?
131.
That's right. And probably going to be, I'm guessing, the longest serving president of the institution, because like I said, you are just a woman on a mission. And the University of Laverne, its staff, its faculty members, its students, and all the surrounding communities are better because you are the president of the university. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
And with that said, let's talk about your creative and innovative efforts to close career pathway gaps, right? So what do you look for when establishing a new area of study? And that's what I mean. You know, you are so in tune with what is happening around you. Please speak to that for a while.
Well, that's a really good question about career paths, because at, I think, some points in the history of higher education, there may not have been this effort, I don't know the right word, but there may not have been this awareness that there needed to be a connection between a college education and a career path or employment. It was maybe education for education's sake. And there came a point where I think the public said, wait, we need to have graduates who are going to be successful in whatever industry they chose or they choose, and the university helps support them. So for me here, and I'm representing the University of Laverne, this is not about Devorah Lieberman, it's the University of Laverne.
Right.
I think it became very, very, very important. Students, we call it the brain remain, not the brain drain. The brain drain is losing people from your region who are really talented and skilled. We want to be part of the brain remain. Most of our students, because we're in the city of Laverne and with multiple locations, but we're part of this region of 6 million people, Inland Empire, San Gabriel Valley, and beyond is also very important. But these 6 million people, how most of our students come from these regions, and they want to, those who come to the University of Laverne, most of them want to have an education that lifts them into professions in this region so that the whole region can thrive. With that in mind, it's very important for institutions to listen to what the region needs and the region wants. So that's what we do. We know that we can upskill students and in every way possible, but also to upskill without listening to your industries and regions, that's only half the equation. So listening to what educators, what school districts need, what hospitals need, what businesses need, by listening to that voice, we can connect with those industries and create pathways and pipelines from high school to the University of Laverne to these industries. And I'm very proud because U.S. News and World Report, which is the magazine that in the rankings that everybody looks to, who's the largest endowment, who's raised the most money, who has the most accreditations, all very important. But they have 2 years ago, they created a new category called social mobility, which is about economic mobility for students graduating. And of the 5,000 institutions in the country, the University of Laverne for social mobility or economic mobility for its students ranked, I believe, 7th in the country for economic uplifting of students into professions, and number 1 in the country for private institutions. That's what I'm proud of. I'm proud that our students come to the University of Laverne, they pursue a degree, they major in a mission so that they have purpose, and then they graduate and are very successful in the careers that they go into.
And, you know, you've been successful to make sure that World Reports found you and ranked you so high in the nation. I mean, that is remarkable, and congratulations for that. Can you just speak a little bit to the layout of the campuses and the opportunities that students have to, you know, interface with the instructors and courses as you have it currently at University of Laverne, because it is extremely dynamic, and I would just like you to kind of talk a bit about that.
Sure. Well, physically, the physical locations, the bricks and mortar. In the city of Laverne, we've got an Yvette, you've been here.
Yes, it's gorgeous. I love it.
Gorgeous campus. I'm walking around every day, giving tours, greeting students. I love our campus. And what makes the campus so, I say, distinct and relevant is that everything about this campus is embracing, nourishing, safe. I mean, we hear constantly on other parts of the country and other campuses, there's not always safety. I believe, and we have the data to back this up, that the safety of this campus is quite, like if I were to send my children here, I would feel very happy about the safety of the campus. So the campus itself in the city of Laverne, the buildings, the football field, the sports center, the career center, all of that exists on this campus. And we have 8 other small campuses: Irvine, Burbank, Bakersfield, Ontario, and 2 military bases. Those campuses are probably now 55 years old. And when they were originally created for the University of Laverne, it was pre-internet, pre-online, and it was this concept that we're going to have locations where students who couldn't come into the actual city of Laverne because it was too far away, we would provide an education for them. That has continued on the regional campuses and the 2 military bases. However, because we now have internet and virtual, those campuses have face-to-face and online. So any way you want to access the University of Laverne, you can. The other thing that I'm so proud of is our average faculty to student ratio is about 13 or 14 to 1.
Oh,
So
wow.
when I was walking around campus today with some visitors and I stopped students and I said, what do you love about the University of Laverne? Every single student said, it's nurturing, it's safe, my classes are small, my faculty are accessible. So the bricks and mortar are important, but what's more important than bricks or mortar is the feeling of accessibility with any faculty member, with the president, that we are all here to support every single student, undergraduate and graduate.
Absolutely. So with that said, let's talk about some exciting updates when you're talking about those career pathways that you're preparing students to fill, in our region. And let's start with the College of Health and Community Wellbeing in Ontario. Please share everything there is to know about that.
Well, we only have about a half an hour.
Yes.
So I'll share
within a few seconds.
So we have, up until July 1st, we had 4 colleges. We had the College of Law, which we still have, so present tense, College of Law, the La Fetra College of Education, the College of Arts and Sciences, and the College of Business and Public Management. So 4 colleges, undergraduate and graduate in each of the colleges. And then about 6 or 7 years ago, we commissioned a study and we said, what are the most needed professions in this region for the next 10, 20, and 30 years? Because we wanted to listen to the voices of the region, and then we wanted to align our programs with what are the most needed professions. And the number 1 profession were health professions. And they said, well, this is what's going to be needed. Then we said, look at our student body, and taking into account who our students are in this region, which are the health professions that we should invest in and create. So that was 6 or 7 years ago. The next thing we did was we created something called the President's Health Advisory Council. And it's about 30 of the health professional leaders in this region, the CEOs of the hospitals, of the foundations. So this group met and still continues to meet every few months. And the group and the commission the study that we commissioned said health professions. So the number one profession they said was physician assistant. So we had never had an allied health profession at the University of Laverne. And we said, we're going to create a physician assistant program from nothing.
Wow.
So we investigated, we hired the people, we invested the money, and we created with no history, a physician assistant program, which is thriving. I met the 30 new students that started yesterday. Today's day 2 of the semester. So we started the physician assistant program, which is phenomenal. Then we said, the board of trustees said, let's create a 5th college. So I said the first 4. So the 5th college launched on July 1st of this year, a month ago, and it's called the College of Health and Community Well-Being. So it's not just health professions, it's the professions that create well-being, integrated programs, supporting the whole community. So that program, that new college, step 1 was to take the majors and the programs that were in the other 4 colleges that are health related and community well-being related, and bring those together as phase 1 of the new College of Health and Community Well-Being. So now we have, I think, 10 programs: physician assistant, psychology, master's in health services and management. So 10 programs that are existing right now. And yesterday, day 1 of the semester, we launched a new program, which is the beginning of a whole nursing program. So yesterday launched the RN to BSN, so that in 9 months, RNs that have a 2-year degree, in 9 months, 100% online, will have a bachelor's degree. And they will then be able to ascend in their professions. My point is that this college is on fire. It's going to be very, very successful. The other piece of it is the City of Ontario has been a phenomenal partner. I want to give a big shout out to Scott Ochoa and everybody that works in the city manager's office, and one of our board members, Frank Lazarga, who's a trustee and also a huge supporter of the City of Ontario. So the City of Ontario approached us and said, we would like your College of Health and Community Wellbeing to be located in the City of Ontario, because most of your students come from this region, and it will be the gateway to the Inland Empire, so that students don't have to commute so far, and they will be able to come, get an education, and go back and serve their community. So we worked with the City of Ontario. We have property where we're just now going to be in the process of building a beautiful new building that will be the College of Health and Community Wellbeing, that will house all of these programs. We are excited.
Oh my goodness, exciting times at the University of Laverne. And, I love that it's all done with, a strategy and that input and everything that embodies, like you said, what the mission of the University of Laverne is. And obviously yours as well, which is why it's such a perfect fit. So we're going to be heading out to a break right now. So for those listening, I'm Yvette Walker on Southern California Business Report on ABC News and Talks, KMET 1490 AM, 98.1 FM, and KMET TV, talking to Dr. Devorah Lieberman, serving as the president of the University of Laverne, with an update on her dynamic work to develop and implement curriculum aimed at anticipating and responding to surrounding workforce needs, including nursing, neurodiversity studies and counseling, computer science, and AI, as well as their new doctorate program in business administration, when we return.
City
City of Hope is driven to making a difference in the lives of people with cancer and diabetes. We accomplish this by conducting innovative research and providing outstanding care. If you or a loved one has received a cancer diagnosis, go to cityofhope.org to learn more about how our innovative approach could change your outcome.
Every 2 seconds, someone needs a blood transfusion. Be on the giving side. Livestream Blood Bank supports patients in 80 Southern California hospitals. Call 1-800-TRY-GIVING for more information and to set an appointment.
Cal State San Bernardino is home to the only school of entrepreneurship in California. With globally ranked degree programs, you can start your journey today to become a successful entrepreneur. Learn more and connect at entre.csusb.edu.
Ontario International Airport is on to a better way to fly with over 65 daily non-stop flights to more than 20 major destinations and the easiest airport experience in Southern California. Visit flyonto.com/Ontario to learn more about Ontario International Airport today.
Hi, I'm San Bernardino County Sheriff Shannon Dykes. If you're looking to start an exciting career in law enforcement and make a difference in your community, we are hiring dispatchers, nurses, deputies, laterals, and many more. For a complete list of our jobs and more information, visit sheriffsjobs.com.
It's summer, the sun is shining, and now's the time to make the most of your solar panels. Don't lose up to 50% of your solar panels' efficiency just because they're dirty. Get the most out of your solar panels and call my friends at Solar Panel Cleaning Specialists at 951-663-7502. That's 951-663-7502. Mention this ad and receive your discount. Offer expires December 31st.
The University of Laverne is rated first in California for alumni satisfaction. Learn more about accelerated programs offered online and on campus in Laverne, Irvine, Ontario, Burbank, or College of the Canyons. Visit go.laverne.edu. The University of Laverne. go.laverne.edu.
Welcome back. For those listening, I'm Yvette Walker on Southern California Business Report on ABC News and Talks, KMET 1490 AM, 98.1 FM, and KMET TV, talking to Dr. Devorah Lieberman, serving as the president of the University of Laverne, with an update on her dynamic work to develop and implement curriculum aimed at anticipating and responding to surrounding workforce needs, including nursing, neurodiversity studies and counseling, computer science, and AI, as well as the new doctorate program in business administration. Thank you again for being with us, Dr. Lieberman.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Yvette. I'm honored.
No, it's my honor. So before the break, we gave, just a brief overview of the University of Laverne, and we started talking about your new College of Health and Community Wellbeing in Ontario. What else is happening in Ontario and the University of Laverne?
I would say that the best way to describe what's happening with the University of Laverne and the City of Ontario is over the top exciting. We are calling what is happening with the University of Laverne in Ontario, we're calling it, the creation of the Education and Innovation Corridor. So, yeah, isn't that fun, Yvette?
Oh my God, I love it. Oh my goodness. More to talk about.
Why is it called Education and Innovation? Because one, we're going to be building this College of Health and Community Wellbeing, and we have the location. The City of Ontario has been tremendous working with us on this location. Just kitty corner to this location is the College of Law, which has been in existence for a couple of decades in the City of Ontario. And the College of Law is one of the jewels in our crown. It's very, 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 very successful. If I were to go to law school, which I'm not, I would choose to go to the College of Law here at the University of Laverne in Ontario. I think 35 sitting judges are actually, don't quote me on this, but I've been told, are graduates from the University of Laverne. And it's so exciting because the College of Law, its mission is to graduate attorneys who've got purpose, who have soul, who have skills, who are going to represent those who truly need to be represented. Our enrollment is off the charts because it's such a strong college. I bring all that up because it's located just off of Euclid and D Street in downtown Ontario, and building the College of Health and Community Wellbeing will be sort of right across the parking lot from it. So you've got these proximity, lots of collaboration between law and health. And then we have a third center that's located in downtown Ontario, and it's called the Randall Lewis Center for Entrepreneurship, Innovation, and Social Impact. And Randall Lewis wanted, who most of us know Randall Lewis, one of the most philanthropic and generous individuals on the planet.
Yes.
Randall Lewis wanted to support and create a center at the University of Laverne that did two things: an entrepreneurship and innovation center. He wanted to have a center that looked inward, that said, how can we help our students be more entrepreneurial, innovative, and have impact? How can we help them when they graduate, they're successful entrepreneurs? He wanted at the exact same time to look outward and say, how can this center help small businesses and entrepreneurs and people from underrepresented cultures and the underserved to be more entrepreneurial and successful? So his vision was to have our students become more entrepreneurial and at the same time assist those people and individuals in the community so that they're successful as well. So here you have three educational, I'll say, centers in Ontario: the Randall Lewis Center, the College of Health and Community Wellbeing, and the College of Law. Just imagine having three dynamic centers all located downtown in Ontario. That is the perfect opportunity to have an education and innovation corridor that serves Ontario, the Inland Empire, and well beyond.
Wow. So is that going to be the designation of those three campuses and recognized as such through the city of Ontario?
Well, let that start here today. I hope so. It makes so much sense to me because there's no other educational institution of higher education located right downtown. So for me, it's very exciting to serve this city. And I love Ontario. I think they are on the move and we're part of it. And I love that.
Absolutely. So I know part of that also, and something that you're really excited about, is your RN to BSN program. Please,
Yes.
Speak a little bit about that and what, students can expect when enrolling.
Well, that's very simple. I'm learning a lot about it. I do not come out of healthcare, so I am learning on the job, just like everybody else. So that started yesterday. Yesterday was day one of the RN to BSN, and I didn't really know much about it until it was introduced to me, and I was like, fits the mission of the University of Laverne perfectly. So there are 2-year RN degrees, and most of those, I think you either you earn those at a community college or at a proprietary or for-profit institution. So you can earn a 2-year degree. And those RNs are working mostly in the hospitals. The hospitals are wanting to have their RNs have a bachelor's degree and not, I don't want to sound negative, not only a 2-year degree, but also have the bachelor's degree with the RN degree for several reasons. One, it upskills their workforce, but also hospitals who want to achieve what's called magnet status need to have not 2-year RNs, but to have RNs with bachelor's degrees. So we said, okay, well, let's serve this population because they deserve to be served and the hospitals want that. So we created a 9-month, 100% online RN to BSN program that started yesterday, very affordable. And what's so exciting about it is it will help the hospitals. The hospitals have reached out to us and said, we want to send you our 2-year RNs. So in 9 months, they could have the BSN, the Bachelor's in Nursing. But the thing is that what is so exciting about that is the hospitals wanting to get to magnet status are looking to us to help them get to that magnet status. And the nurses can work full-time, part-time, whatever, so that they can earn that degree while they're still working in the hospital. It helps the hospital, it helps the nurses, it helps the University of Laverne. It's the perfect combination of health profession organizations working with the University of Laverne, so it doesn't feel so like disjointed and fragmented. And I'm excited, and the community's excited.
Absolutely, because our healthcare workers, they're our heroes, and they've been the greatest heroes, especially these last couple of years. And it's made it even more clear how much we need them, how much respect they deserve, and how we can really support them in their efforts when you're talking about, their career pathways and, being able to support a community with various healthcare needs and such.
Right. And to add one last thing to this,
yes.
Because you said there are heroes.
Yes.
So when I say there are heroes, they deserve to go to a school that is accessible and affordable. Mm-hmm. So for every one of these students who are coming, for me, it's to the University of Laverne, we are finding every way possible to provide as much scholarships as possible so it's financially affordable to every single one of those students. It's our responsibility, especially the healthcare workers.
Wow, that is tremendous. So with that said, you've been developing various different centers and departments as, time has gone on, and all in a very brief amount of time. And the next one I want to talk about is your computer science department. Please share a little bit about what it is you're focusing there.
Well, we have a very long in existence computer science department that has evolved over the ages as computers have evolved and everything with technology. So I think, what they were teaching 40 years ago is probably so different from what they're teaching today. But because the computer science department, headed up by Dr. Seta Whitby, under the leadership of her Dean Shannon Matthews, is very, very forward looking. And she anticipated, Dr. Whitby, that artificial intelligence and cybersecurity was going to be the next wave that our students needed. So some go into computer science and engineering, but there are many who said, I am interested in artificial intelligence and cybersecurity. So the chair of the department created a concentration and a certification in cybersecurity and artificial intelligence. And I don't want to use hyperbole, but we may be the only undergraduate computer science program in this region that has this concentration in artificial intelligence. So you don't have to wait to get a master's to get the skills for that. So she created this whole concentration, and it's off the charts phenomenal. And when we met with the Fletcher Jones Foundation and told them about this program that we've created for our students, the Fletcher Jones Foundation awarded us $1 million to create an endowed professorship in artificial intelligence just for this program. So when a foundation says, we like what you're doing because you're doing good work to serve the greater community in ways that really enhance the community, and then they invest in you, that speaks volumes because it's external validation that you're doing something that's critical. So the Fletcher Jones Foundation, we are forever indebted to them for investing in us.
Well, it's a big sign of trust, right? And it's trust well placed because you have a reputation for doing what is right and doing what the greatest impact for that effort that you're pursuing. And that's why you're on fire. And I look up to you. And like I said, I just absolutely love you, Dr. Lieberman. So with that said, I also know you received a $2 million grant or, award to launch a digital media center as well. That's new. Please talk a little bit about that.
Well, we have a graduate who is from Taiwan, and his name's Nathan Chow. He's got his doctorate in public administration from the University of Laverne a couple decades ago, and he is a major force in Taiwan for media and film, major. And he came to us and he said, I want to invest I want to give back. The University of Laverne was very good to me, which I love when someone comes and says, you were good to me, I want to be good to you. There's some music to my ears. And he said, I want to give back to the University of Laverne because you were so good to me when I was a student. And his passion is media and film. He is the chair of a university, Shishin University in Taiwan, that is probably the #1 university for film and media in Taiwan. And so through our discussions, he said, I would like to give back to the University of Laverne in a way that is aligned with what I'm doing in Taiwan, in Taipei, Taiwan. So he donated $2 million from his, not a foundation, from himself. And that $2 million created the Nathan Chow Film and Media Studies program. And that $2 million has been invested into creating a beautiful studio, top of the line film and media equipment, and has attracted students that are going to be highly successful in the entertainment industry, in script writing, in production, in making films, in starring in films. Our students are being trained with the best professors. I have to give a shout out to Morgan Sandler and Jake Huberman, who are professors in that department. And they are attracting, they're going to high schools and talking about this program. They're listening to what the students want. They are creating a program. And if it weren't for, we would have the program, but because somebody invested in it, we have the ability to create the most top-notch program for these students who will go on and do unbelievable things in the entertainment industry. It took one donor, and it took several faculty and administrators to make that magic happen.
Oh, that is remarkable. And there's still so many other areas I want to talk about. So let's move on to your doctorate in business administration, because that's something new that you're offering at the university as well.
Yes. And there's very few DBAs, doctorate in business administration. There's MBAs, there's master's degrees in finance and accounting and international studies, all of that at the University of Laverne and other institutions. But about a year ago, the faculty and we hired a new provost, Karib Janoyan. They came together and said, what's needed next in business? And one of the things that they came up with was CEOs who don't just have MBAs, but CEOs who have doctorates and are leading their organizations, and individuals who want to become professors and teach in in business schools. So the DBA is perfect for those professionals who want to be better in their running their companies and or want to teach in B schools and business schools. So they created this program, and it's for domestic students and for international students. And the number of international students who are interested in this program virtually, so you could take it on the ground here or you could take it virtually, is amazing. So again, they listened to what people say they wanted, and they put their finger on the pulse, and they created the program to meet that. That's pretty rare.
It really is, but it's all comes back to why it is I just absolutely love you, because you find these opportunities, you seek them, you put the puzzle pieces together, and everybody benefits from it. So thank you for that. And so let's talk about also your College of Education for Future Educators, as well as your Center for Neurodiversity. Very important. Please speak to that.
Well, the La Fetra College of Education, and it's called La Fetra College because we had a board member. I have to tell you this very short story, but it's so beautiful. We had a board member whose name is Tony La Fetra, was the CEO for Rainbird, which is the irrigation system. And he grew up in Glendora. He passed away during COVID. And he's a great loss for us and for the whole community. And he was beloved. So when he was a trustee, we had many, many talks. And one of the talks centered around his education as a child in Glendora. And he said, I had the most fantastic teachers in grade school, and they taught me to love learning. And he said, it turned out that most of my teachers were graduates from the University of Laverne. And when we started talking about his investment, he said, I want to give $10 million to name the College of Education. So it would be the La Fetra College of Education. But it's not about the naming. He said, I want to make sure that every graduate from that college who goes on to teach in this community, they're as good as the teachers that I had when I was a little boy, that they taught me to love learning. So that $10 million has been invested into the College of Education, the La Fetra College of Education, to support the best education possible for those students who want to be teachers. One of the programs that his donation has funded is called the Center for Neurodiversity in the College of Education. What is the Center for Neurodiversity? The philosophy is that everybody's brain is a little bit different. We think a little differently, we process differently, and we learn differently. There's no right way, there's no wrong way. It's just different. So it's neurodiversity, different ways that the brain functions. So in the Center for Neurodiversity, and I don't want to misspeak because it's not my field of study, they are looking at the whole spectrum: autism, ADHD, dyslexia, anything, Tourette's, anything that you want to put on the spectrum. Not that it's right or wrong, but as educators, how can we, if I'm a teacher, how can I not label somebody and then assume that their way of processing is right or wrong or better or less than? How can I, as a teacher, support everybody on the spectrum so that they are successful in their learning and they're becoming successful individuals as they grow? One of the things I love about the center, and the director of the center is a woman named Nikki Elliott, absolutely brilliant. This is her brainchild. And anybody who wants to learn more about neurodiversity, Nikki Elliott is the person for you. So she doesn't just do it on the campus and in the classroom. She goes out into the community, and she and her team work with families, they work with teachers, they work with administrators throughout San Bernardino County, Pomona, throughout this region. how the families can support their children who are neurodiverse, and how the teachers and the school districts can support these children who are neurodiverse. So you don't get labeled as something, as a deficit, when you're actually an asset wherever you are.
Absolutely, absolutely. So before we end here, and it's gone by so quick, I just want to, yes, can you believe it? I told you it goes by so quickly. What advice would you give to working adults that are looking to enhance their educational portfolio? And what are you most excited about moving forward?
Well, I'm not sure about the excited moving forward part, but what advice can I give working adults?
Yes.
A few years ago, a woman asked my advice, and I was giving a speech at the university. She raised her hand and she said, "I'm 60 years old. I am a working adult. If I come back to school, I won't get my degree until I'm 64. And I said to her, "That's true, but you're going to be 64 no matter what you do. Would you rather be 64 with a degree or without a degree?" And she said, "Wow, yes." So last year at graduation, when she walked across the stage and hugged me, she said, "I'm 64 with a degree." So the advice I would give everybody is a degree will help you with your education, it will help you with your career, but it will help you grow as an individual. And I think education is the game changer for everybody. What am I most excited about? I'm excited about the future of the University of Laverne.
And we're all excited, and that's why we're going to have you on again so we can continue the conversation. Thank you so much for being with us today, Dr. Lieberman.
Thank you so much, Yvette. Have a great week.
Thank you. So for everybody listening, don't forget to look for us on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Check us out on subrtalk.com. And don't forget to download the free live streaming app on Google Play or the Apple App Store. Don't miss my interview with Michael G. Rademacher, proud to base his businesses in the Inland Empire. Michael first entered the real estate market at 19 years old, fueled by an insatiable desire to learn and a commitment to provide a unique yet superior product for his clients. Don't miss that interview. Next week, we will have Jeff Burnham, chairman of National Community Renaissance. In 1991, using his own resources, Mr. Burnham co-founded National Community Renaissance in response to the need for affordable housing in San Bernardino County. 5 years later, wanting to provide more than shelter to low-income families and seniors, he co-founded the Hope Through Housing Foundation to offer programs and services that transform the lives of residents. So next week, Tuesday at 4. Don't miss it. We'll see you, everybody. Thank you.